We already reviewed the traditional schedule for the 2020 retreat year. What I'd like to do is just to highlight some of the changes in the pilot schedule. Those changes are going to be highlighted in yellow. So everything is the same Friday night until we get to 9:15. At 9:15, there will be a Holy Communion service on the pilot retreat. With fewer and fewer priests available, it's getting difficult to find a priest who's free for a whole weekend to give a retreat at Malvern. So 9:15 will be a Holy Communion service rather than Mass. And this also accommodates the fact that a lot of people who like to go to daily Mass have already gone to Mass that morning. So everybody still receives the Blessed Sacrament, and it will only be a Holy Communion service. There will also be refreshments on Friday night, and that's something new that we're introducing. Now what we can do is move to Saturday morning, and as you notice, everything is the same Saturday morning as the traditional retreats. The big thing is there's a longer period of time after breakfast before session 2 begins, and the reconciliation service will be held in the chapel. Saturday afternoon has another adjustment to the schedule. 1:15 used to be when we had the guest speaker. Now 1:15 will be free time or the Way of the Cross. The thinking is that the Way of the Cross will be able to get people outside after lunch and move around, and if people want to relax or take a nap right after lunch on Saturday, makes a lot of sense. A lot of the guest speakers say trying to keep people engaged right after lunch on Saturday afternoon has been a challenge. Also, we're going to move further into Saturday afternoon. The new retreat and ceremony will be at the Mass. There will be an hour of the Blessed Sacrament exposed at the end of Mass. And then at 5 o'clock, we have session 3 with the guest speaker. The guest speaker is going to be asked to take a look at the sessions that we're covering on the retreat and try to incorporate some of that content into his or her presentation. There is a break at 6:15, and then dinner is 6:30. So this is another change on the pilot retreat schedule. The dinner gets pushed back a half hour. At 7:45, there's session 4. And at 9:15, there's night prayer with exposition and benediction. And as you noticed, the new main ceremony will not be taking place here. It will have taken place earlier at the Mass, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. At 10 o'clock, there's another open AA meeting, and that's something new this year as well. Finally, Sunday morning follows the same schedule as Saturday morning. 7:30 is morning prayer and Angelus, prayer at the flag. 8 o'clock is breakfast, and then 9:15 starts a little later than before. That's session 5 with the wrap-up. And the wrap-up at the end of the retreat and the introduction at the beginning of the retreat are like two bookends, and they'll always be done by a member of the Malvern Retreat House team. There's a break at 10:15, which allows people to walk over to the chapel, and at 10:30, Mass will be held in Our Lady's Chapel, unless, of course, there's a very large number of retreatants, and then we stay in Upper McShane. Thanks very much, and we're looking forward to our 2020 retreat season.